As the regular season winds down, LeBron is dealing with an ankle injury, and Anthony Davis got hurt again in the team's loss last night. They're barely hanging on to the 6th seed in the West right now, and Charles Barkley is not feeling confident about the Lakers heading into the playoffs.
Let's be realistic. They could play the Warriors. They could play the Blazers. They could play the Mavs. So the notion that even New Orleans, I told you, New Orleans to me is a team that overachieved the most. Underachieved. But the notion that the Lakers can just show up and beat New Orleans, Dallas, or Portland, I don't like their chances.
Yeah, I would want no part of Golden State.
No.
Steph Shear, I would want no part of that.
This was the biggest concern with the Lakers this season. Could they stay healthy? Can they stay healthy? And they are not. And the biggest thing, I feel like a broken record, I've been saying this since the start of the season, they didn't get the proper rest they needed in the offseason.
Old teams need time off.
Your body needs that. Your body needs to heal. They didn't get to properly heal, and then they didn't get to rev it back up to be in shape to where they needed to be. And we're seeing it with LeBron at 36 years old shutting down, and you're seeing AD shutting down.
I'm going to make a prediction that the Clippers and the Bucks meet in the finals, and my belief is we dismissed both of them after last year.
Yeah.
And the NBA has always been a baby steps league. You just don't get a great player. Even LeBron, when he went to Cleveland, won the second year. Went to Miami, won the second year. LeBron became a Laker, won the second year. This idea that Kawhi and Paul George would just swoop in, first year championship, it doesn't work that way.
No.
So Milwaukee is healthy. They added Drew Holiday and PJ Tucker. They match up well. The teams ahead of them aren't as healthy. And the Clippers, again,
looked good last night.
Yes, I mean, they
good.
blew the Lakers out. We have this feeling. Go look at LeBron's career. It's been the second year in every place he's gone. They didn't win in Miami the first year. So, like, all of a sudden, we think the Clippers are going to, with their history and Paul George and Kawhi, I'm going to go Clippers, Bucks, and the Bucks beat them.
I don't even want to think about that right now, but we're moving on. Russell Westbrook has been putting up huge numbers recently and is closing in on Oscar Robertson's record for triple-doubles in the regular season. He's gotten criticism for padding his stats and never winning an NBA title, but Robertson recently came to Westbrook's defense on that topic. He said, I think he's one of the elite guards in basketball, and I think it's ridiculous some sport writers criticize him because he has not won a championship. Players don't win championships by themselves. They've got to have good management, and you got to get the right group of players around him.
Well, he's had good players.
He had the great players around him on the Thunder.
Yeah. I mean,
he had the players.
I think Westbrook now, as his career is getting closer to the end, he's going to have his supporters. Oscar, I don't know how many titles Oscar won. I think maybe one. Oscar could defend him because Oscar maybe is saying, I didn't have the players around me. But I honestly think if you're in any business for 20 years or 10 years or 15 years, your reputation is earned and fair. Westbrook is a mega talent who can be hard to play with. Albert Pujols just left the Angels. One of the best right-handed hitters in baseball history. That's his legacy, and that's exactly what he is.
Yep.
Top 3 right-handed stick of all time. All right.
Yeah.
And Russell Westbrook plays a little bit in the tunnel. Players often play better not with him, but an all-time athletic, hyper-speed talent. Yeah. And that's completely fair. He's not the kind of guy like Iverson who's going to end up with a bunch of championships, but he is going to end up with a bunch of fans. And that's fair. That's what he is.
Fans and stats. But I think any player would trade all of those stats for the most important stat, a championship.
Agree, Alex, with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping.
Line News.
Well, it is the hot topic of the day and the week because the rift between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers won't be ending anytime soon, but that doesn't mean the two sides can't come to a resolution. Former Packer James Jones is close with Rodgers and speaks with him often. He said Aaron is not the type of guy to be leaking all of this inside information, and he believes the situation is fixable. The Athletic also reported this week that the Packers were willing to make Rodgers the highest paid quarterback this offseason, but those talks were turned down from the reigning MVP. So it's obviously clear money is not the issue here.
Well, it's also clear, according to this story, is that they offered him and Aaron wasn't interested. And Peter King said that. So I don't know. Aaron's friends are now saying it's fixable. I'm going to be a cynic here.
Okay.
Okay, so Aaron wants out. It gets dropped, regardless of who the source was. And it's a little uglier. There's more anti-Aaron press than Aaron's comfortable with. And so now he's, sending his surrogates out, James Jones and A.J. Hawk, maybe his buddies.
Yep.
And to just soften the blow. There was a story earlier this week that was just out of the blue. Adam Schefter was talking on Dan Patrick and said, by the way, this was not a source on draft night when I leaked it. This was an accumulation of stuff. And Dan Patrick smartly asked, well, then why would you drop it on draft night? I am very cynical on this. So Jay Glazer, Adam Schefter, and Ian Rappaport, excellent NFL reporters, all at the exact same time on draft night. The exact same 5-minute frame reported the same story. And I'm supposed to believe it was just happenstance and coincidence. It wasn't leaked by somebody close to the story. Well, the Packers didn't leak it. There's no value there. You watch their draft room as a morgue. So I am a little cynical.
Oh, yeah.
Where did the story come from? So now you're saying The Athletic is reporting Green Bay reached out to him, offered to make a deal, and The Athletic now reports he said no.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm not anti-Aaron Rodgers, but I'm cynical that now his buddies are all going out and they're softening the blow, that it's fixable. It's certainly, what's the old, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Like, I'm sorry, but.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Okay, I've earned the right over 30 years to be a little cynical that it's not coming from Aaron. Yeah, I'm a little cynical on that.
It's coming from inside of his. This is calculated. It is so calculated. And even the aftermath of having his friends talk about it, saying it is fixable.
Why would the three great NFL reporters at the exact same moment drop the story?
That doesn't just happen.
Well, what that
they
tells you...
They get the information from someone.
Well, right. That tells you it's coming from a single source, not a bunch of sources. It's all landing. And yes, I don't think it's coming from the Packers. So I am cynical on that.
Yeah.
I do think Aaron feels trapped and wants out. And by the way, between Jeopardy and his Hollywood girlfriend, Andy's from Northern California. Andy has a $40 million house in Malibu. Andy trains out here. I'm not banging on him for it. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I told my wife the other day, I went for a jog. It was 72. And I was looking at weather around the country. And I'm like, this is a good place to live. It's if you got money and you can live in an enclave like Malibu and it's 72 every day, there's a reason, he lives next to superstars and Cindy Crawford and CEOs and, he wants to change the scenery and he's over the cheeseheads. I get it.
Yeah, I think it could really go either way. It really could go either way. I truly believe anything is fixable if you make the right offer. Are the Packers willing to give him everything that he wants? I don't know. But again, I'm also biased. I'm born and raised here in Southern California. It is beautiful. If you have a chance to